Pivoting back over to yesterday, we talked about this ESPN top 10 list, and I had mentioned this, and I'll spend a couple of minutes on this. That basically it came out with a list that had all these different players. We'll recap it once again for you on today's edition of the Ben Garcia Show. But basically, plain and simple, executives, scouts, coaches, everything in between had ranked the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, CJ Stroud, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott. If you want to know my opinions on the Justin Herbert at 6 and Brock Purdy being snubbed off this list, go ahead and check out the show that I made yesterday. And I mentioned this briefly, and it deserves its whole segment, so let's talk about it here. Joe Burrow is listed as the second best quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen, 3. I have been a strong proponent and supporter of Josh Allen ever since he walked in the NFL. This dude's got a cannon of an arm. He's a heck of an athlete, and he's probably the least supported athlete since Aaron Rodgers on the Green Bay Packers. Josh Allen has not been given a sustainable offensive line, and up until last year, on the later half of the season, a running game. And outside of Stephon Diggs, it's been a lot of Gabe Davises who are awful, or Dawson Knox who have not lived up to expectations. The defense has been good, not great. It's been injury-riddled at times, and he doesn't have an offensive coach, just like Patrick Mahomes does, just like Matthew Stafford does, just like Justin Herbert does now, just like Joe Burrow does, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Aaron Rodgers doesn't, but Jared Goff and Dak Prescott. Every other guy on this list outside of Aaron Rodgers has an offensive head coach. Josh Allen doesn't. That's a huge advantage to have in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to argue that Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. I don't think it's the Grand Canyon. I think it's a substantial distance, but I don't think it's a Grand Canyon difference between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I think if you swap spots, Josh Allen would be as good as Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes would be as good as Josh Allen. But you can't do that, so you have to go off of trophies. Patrick Mahomes, in this instance, is substantially further than Josh Allen. The Grand Canyon, I don't think so. But Josh Allen has been wildly underrated his whole career. Because he throws a lot of interceptions, he's a gunslinger, which was seen as something cool years ago, is now seen as an awful thing now. People look down on him. But Josh Allen is a physical specimen. He is a life preserver for the Buffalo Bills. He is keeping them afloat, not the other way around. The Bills were in utter dysfunction before Josh Allen showed up. The Bills didn't have the exact player at the quarterback position that they needed. They went through Tyrod Taylor. They went through, I can't even remember the kid's name from a really long time ago, who had panned out in the NFL for one season. It was a draft pick years ago, I believe in the 4th round. Everyone was excited for him. He didn't work out. In either way, it's been a revolving door of Ryan Fitzpatrick's, of Tyrod Taylor's, and the Buffalo Bills quarterback room. Josh Allen steps in the fold and completely stabilized the position in a couple years and becomes undoubtedly a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. But there's no argument that Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen. He's been heavily more supported. He's had a better coaching staff. He's had the better culture. Lamar Jackson was not asked to save the Baltimore Ravens. They were a very capable organization before he showed up. Josh Allen was asked to save the Buffalo Bills. This is an organization that lost 4 straight Super Bowls at one point. That's who the Buffalo Bills were. Josh Allen saved them. If Josh Allen had nearly the support that half of these players on this list have, he would probably have 1 Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls, and Patrick Mahomes would not already have 3. I'm not going to blame Josh Allen because Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and the stability of the Kansas City Chiefs are so awesome. I have to give him praise. I have to be honest. Josh Allen is objectively one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and the second best quarterback in the NFL. And I don't think the distance between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen is the Grand Canyon. This is a guy that last year, with Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs and James Cook, took a team to the playoffs, lost in the divisional round, lost a hard-fought game in the divisional round. He beat the Chiefs last year, although not in the playoffs. So I get it. Joe Burrow defeated Josh Allen on the road in the playoffs. That's a big deal. I get it. Joe Burrow has had a lot of injuries. Joe Burrow, now you can't tell the story of Joe Burrow without saying, but he's had a lot of injuries. But he can't stay healthy. Josh Allen has largely stayed healthy to this point in his career. And he is a mix of Big Ben Roethlisberger and Cam Newton. All the good things of Big Ben Roethlisberger, all the good things of Cam Newton, and some of the really good things of Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, but given the fact that he does turn over the ball a lot. So I get it. I understand why some people may look down on Josh Allen. I'm not going to act like I'm outraged or I don't get it. But Josh Allen deserves to be number 2 on this list. And being behind a guy in Joe Burrow who has been largely injured and has had T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, bad offensive lines for sure, but an offensive head coach, and Jamar Chase, and an organization that has tried to support him and has tried to stabilize the offensive line, and it just hasn't worked, it's not fair to throw Josh Allen behind that. It's not fair to blame Josh Allen for being the life preserver for the Buffalo Bills because the continuous dysfunction of the Buffalo Bills. It's a fine organization, but they have a lot of issues, in meaning it should not take them until year 5, year 4, year 6 for Josh Allen to have a stable running back. Last year I was pounding the drum. Go get Jonathan Taylor. Give him some help. And the Buffalo Bills put their hands in their pockets, rolled their eyes, and finally waited to get the ball rolling with James Cook half a season down the road. It wasn't fair to Josh Allen. The offensive line has been at best mediocre, and at times it's been really bad. The offensive pass catchers, Stephon Diggs is cool, sure, very moody, and has been a distraction at times, and has taken shots at Josh Allen, and Josh Allen has been nothing but a complete adult about it. Has had multiple offensive coordinators, and has a defensive head coach in which every player on this list outside of Aaron Rodgers have. Don't blame Josh Allen because he hasn't been as supported as the other players. Lift up Josh Allen because he's been able to lift up a Buffalo Bills team that was in utter chaos before him. And he'll continue to do so. And the Buffalo Bills, with all this talent that got left in the offseason, will still be relevant, will still be a playoff team, will still be exceptional for one reason and one reason only. It's not Sean McDermott. It's not the defense. It's not the running game. It will be again because of Josh Allen's heroics.